If you take the word renewable and do some word association, you have replenish, renew, refresh. And so renewable means that you have a continuous supply of energy. You don't deplete it. It's something that will always be there. The sun will always shine, the wind will always blow.
When renewable energy, particularly solar energy, was in its infancy back in the 1970s and 1980s, it suffered from a stigma of kind of a hippie technology and maybe something that wasn't really accessible or available to the general public. I believe that now, with people's increased interest in the environment, a better understanding that renewables have advanced with several decades of research and development, that it's become a more acceptable alternative.
Some of the examples of renewable and non-renewable energy sources are, in the renewable area, there's sunlight and there's wind. So those are some of the things that can be replenished. The non-renewable sources of energy are things like coal and oil. These were things that were formed millions of years ago and are now in the earth and can be mined and extracted. But once they're mined and extracted, they don't replenish themselves.
Renewable sources of energy take many forms. The most common one, the one that people think of most often, is solar energy. And energy from the sun has the advantage that we know the sun is going to come up every day and the sun shines on everyone. In fact, there's enough sunlight that falls on the United States each day to power the U.S.'s energy needs for an entire year. So solar energy is really the source from which all of the other renewable energy sources emanate. Wind power is the second largest resource of renewable energy. Wind power has the advantage that in a very windy location, it can blow 24 hours a day. So that's an advantage compared to sunlight.
There's also places in the country, including Colorado, where you can subscribe to a renewable energy source. For example, in Colorado, you can subscribe to something called WindSource. So if you have as a goal to reduce the energy consumption in the United States and use renewable energy sources, and you want to promote the growth of that industry, you can subscribe. And then part of your energy that you'll receive in your home is wind power generated.
Renewable energy is often thought of as being more expensive than conventionally produced energy from fossil fuels. And there are instances where that's true today. However, we have enjoyed the benefits of more than 2 decades of research and development that have helped to lower the cost of renewable energy. And there are many applications of renewable energy that are cost-effective today.
A solar cell is a device that's made of a certain material. It's very selected material, where when sunlight or light hits the material, it jogs loose electrons and electricity flows. And the value of that is it's very modular. You can have very small cells like in a solar calculator, or you can have large modules that are on the roof of a building, or you can have fields of modules that will power a whole community.
The building behind me is a perfect example of incorporating renewable energy into our daily lives here in the research environment. The solar energy system on the building provides electricity directly back to the grid and lowers our electricity bills, while the building itself was designed with energy efficiency principles in mind and uses about half the energy that a same-sized laboratory building would use otherwise.